As I speak, Pramod, can you take us through where you are, what you've witnessed through the course of the day?
Definitely, Preeti. I'm at the place, the Prime Minister's office, or the place where all action was here today. And just like our guest today said right now, this is one of the heritage buildings. I'm just showing the various portions of this heritage building over here. These fans look like really old, should be at least 100 years old, and the chandelier and everything. And the centerpiece of this building is that marble Buddha over there. You can sit and just watch that Buddha for like hours and hours. That's the kind of piece you can see on his face. So this is a heritage, important heritage, and here you have the lotus piece below his leg also, and this is very, very important. But here what happened is that just like every other people in Colombo, they were completely upset with the fact that Ranil Wickremesinghe became the acting president, and they were not happy about it. And this was the fourth important prominent building that was taken over by the public. In fact, as we moved to the lawn, you could see that the protesters here have made it very sure that like none of this area, none of the important artifacts here will be damaged. But they're also making it very sure that they are not going to leave this place until a proper solution is acquired. That's the reason this building, which they took almost 4 hours fighting with the armed forces over here, they did the major retaliation was that tear gas, and even after that they did not leave. They were here for like 4 hours and protesting, and finally they breached in. And right now, as we speak, armed forces are at one spot, but this entire building is covered with it is full of only protesters. Police are also there, as you could see. This was the significance of their protest. They want to make sure that not just the president, but also the Prime Minister should not be the person in charge. That is Ranil Wickremesinghe, and as a form of symbolically representing it, they have decided to take over this building, Preeti.
All right, the protesters have decided to take over the Prime Minister's office. Pramod, can you get us as many reactions as you can? And I want to cut across to Geeta and Ashutosh in just about a minute. Can we pick up reactions from the protesters? Can you speak to them?
At this spot, and they've been here since the morning. Like we saw this, we also saw them when they were entering. So, the significance of you entering this building, and why are you here?
We are here because we want to end the corruption. Our political leaders, they are hiding from us. They are not answering our questions. So they are out of the country now. Our president is out of the country. He's not facing the public. So we don't want a president, or we don't want a political system which is not transparent.
You're saying that this system should not continue?
Yes. Even and system and whatever the past political people are, we don't want them.
On one end, Ranil Wickremesinghe says that he'll only be the acting president until an all-party government is formed. Why is that you don't trust him?
We won't trust him because 2016-17 he was the person who stole the bank, our main bank, our Sri Lanka bank. So how can he be the president? If he's a thief, how can he be a president? Somehow we don't like Ranil also to be the president.
But if the country does not have a president or a prime minister, who will run it? Who will take care of the daily affairs?
Our speaker can be the president for the temporary. Okay, temporary he can be the president, not Ranil. Okay, our speaker can be the president. Other than that, Ranil, we are not expecting.
All right. So when are you deciding to leave this building? When will you leave this? Not just this building, the President Palace, President Secretariat, and every building.
The second we are getting the solution for our problems, we will be leaving the building. These are our property. Okay, these are for all.
Make sure that no damage occurs to it.
No damage.
All right, Pramod.
We are protecting this because these are all our money, our public.
What is the solution you're looking for?
We are asking Ranil and Goda to leave.
We don't want.
Yeah.
So you heard that, Petri. They claim that the resignation of the Prime Minister and the President seems to be the only solution they want, and that's the reason they have still occupied the building here.
All right, Pramod, stay on with me. I want to quickly bring in Geeta. Geeta, now Rajapaksa Gotabaya is in Maldives. There are protests which are taking place there. Is he going to be on his way now to Singapore? Has Singapore accepted that they're going to give him asylum?
Well, the fact is that, Preeti, they are looking at various countries and options. Their options are quite limited. India certainly was not an option, as was reported earlier. We have Tamil Nadu and the Tamil community in Sri Lanka to cater to and look at, and we know the past of the Rajapaksas. So India is certainly ruled out. What we're given to understand from the media in Maldives is that, yes, Gotabaya Rajapaksa and his wife, who was the former First Lady, are headed to Singapore, but there is no confirmation on whether whether if it is asylum or if it's temporary. We do know that his permanent last stop was supposed to be Dubai, and that certainly has not happened. So a lot of confusion, and they're just trying to work with whichever country they get place in right now, because the Maldives and being there was becoming untenable. We saw there are a lot of Sri Lankans there, and protests are underway in the Maldives as well.
You know, Geeta, one would think that a very natural pick would be China right now.
Well, Singapore is the closest they can get. If they move to China, there is no returning. There is no returning, not just for them, for their entire generations after generations, if they ever look at China, because that certainly would be the last nail in the coffin for the Rajapaksas. But Singapore is as close as they can get, and in all probability, if Singapore agrees, it will be because of the conversations and the dealings that must have happened with Beijing involved as well.
You think China would be involved? Because till now we have all the details of the tickets, where they're going to go, you know, the flights that they're going to take, but no confirmation from Singapore whether they are offering asylum or not.
Well, again, there is no confirmation. Also, there is no past that we can see where we can connect the Rajapaksa clan to the family, the first family of Singapore. So there has to be some connection wherein, and is the reason why they could really have gotten that space in Singapore, and we know the influence China certainly has in Singapore. It's just we're just surmising. It's not a conclusive or a confirmed news as of now. But then again, you know, the Maldives also, somewhere down the line, Nasheed going and receiving Rajapaksa, the closeness that you see between Nasheed and Rajapaksa, and the relationship Rajapaksas have had with certain families and certain political people here in India, could certainly have been one of the reasons why they were allowed to enter the Maldives. The Maldives knew the cost of allowing the Rajapaksa family into their land.